Good day everyone and welcome to Exile News, the weekly show that brings you all the important news and informations on Path of Exile. And the first news we got this week has been about performance improvements, which are always welcomed and always good. And in this case, GGG showed us a video which has been recorded intentionally on a lower spec computer with an Intel E5, a GeForce 1050 Ti and only 8GB of RAM to show that the actual gameplay for very laggy builds like Custom Crit, Cost Prismalis and all that kind of stuff is much better in a 3.0 update, and this has been achieved by many means, but the most important one has been the speed at which particles are created and destroyed, so that all of these effects are going to affect a lot less your FPS in game. This does not sadly make party play very much viable because you still can't see shit, but it's going to be much more fluid. Also, there's going to be a very interesting thing, which is resolution downscaling, which you can turn off, I believe. And the thing is, when a lot of stuff is happening on the screen, the resolution will lower, so basically everything will be a bit more blurred, but GGG found out that you won't notice it most of the time, and that is because the screen is already moving really fast and a lot of things are happening anyway, so that is going to be one of the things. And if it actually works as well as it looks, it's definitely going to be really good. And the second news this week has to do with music. So this is kind of an overview of the music throughout the acts, and the point is Act 5 has been thought back when there were less acts, so it kind of completes a story, an arc, and even the music has these ties with the previous chapters. However, it's also the first act to be fully composed by a single composer, which is Camille, which had an interview and a spotlight on the news a couple weeks, maybe couple months ago right now. And from the post you can see how he thought of the music, how he describes the music of Act 5, and also the main theme, the new main theme, which is going to be for the new login screen, I believe, because if you play the beta or if you watch the beta, you will see that there is, well, not exactly a new login screen, but also a new character selection screen. So a new main theme was needed, and due to the popular demand, it has actually some ties with the Belly of the Beast tracks, so that is actually pretty interesting. Can't wait to hear it, because I still haven't heard it from streams, and I'm sure you can kind of find it somewhere, but still I feel like actually hearing the music within the game is going to feel much better. Anyway, you can see Act 6 through 10, and you can see how exactly the thought process came to be for all of these acts, and how the music will try to follow the story and actually give a lot of feelings. It's kind of hard to understand, especially if you're not into music, but when you play and you actually hear good music or music that fits, it actually feels pretty damn good. So another thing we got is a preview of a new zone, which is going to be in the Act 8, and this is the Harbor Bridge. Act 8 is the equivalent of Act 3 for the second part of the game, so there's a lot of contrast between Solaris and Lunaris. Kind of feels like a night and day map, maybe it will be some like special map which will have different time, which I think is something that Path of Exile doesn't have, and it would actually be pretty cool to have, just to add some diversity to a couple zones. But anyway, if you want to know more before the actual release of Act 8, just check the video out. Of course, I'll put a link in the description below. And anyway, we also got the third weekly report for the beta, and this time the Act 8 release, which should have happened this week, actually got pushed into next week again, and that is because GGG found some things that should have been tested and that didn't have the time to be tested yet, so they preferred to actually wait a couple more days, because it actually means a lot higher quality on the act. So actually on Monday the first wave of new content is going to go up, and it's going to be full Act 8. There's going to be a character wipe because GG needs to see how the progression is with new characters and not with fully geared characters. Also, there's going to be a new early game tutorial system which you can actually turn off or on, and I'm really interested to see how this goes, if it actually is very much like every other tutorial everywhere, or if it's something new and interesting which will actually be able to teach while captivating the players. We'll have to see about that. Also, all 4 labyrinths are going to be available, which is pretty damn good. And after that, there's going to be a new content patch, which is mostly going to be refining. For example, the monsters in Act 6 and 7 will be improved, especially having a better identity and maybe a bit more differentiation between those monsters and the other monsters in the previous acts. Also, the fight in the old first encampment, which is Act 7, is going to be different depending on your choices made in Act 2, which I think is really damn cool. So stay tuned. If you want to know more about the Act 8, definitely check in your favorite streamers or YouTuber on Monday US time, early in the morning. So I guess Monday for pretty much everyone. And the very first thing here, just for today, which will still be running when this video goes out, I believe, there are beta keys for the Fall of Areas for only $10, while if you purchase a supporter pack, you actually have to spend 30. Here you just get the key pretty much, but it's only worth $10. So if you want to get your friend into the beta, but they don't really care about having a full supporter pack, you can just get it here. So that's nice from GGG. And one last thing, since the release for the 3.0 update has actually been pushed to early August, GGG still have to say a word about Legacy and if it will be pushed and will continue to run until the start of the actual 3.0 leagues. We'll have to see about that. I hope they actually prolong the life of Legacy, because the league is pretty cool. However, they might think that not giving a player a little bit of time to rest between one league and another might burn most people out. We'll have to see about that. Hopefully they'll just let the leagues run longer, because it's still better than playing standards anyway. So yeah, I think that was all for this week. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and a comment down below. Also, if you want to remain updated every week, be sure to subscribe to my channel. So that was all. I've been your host Zorzo, and I'll see you guys the next time.